Yep, there's the cows. There's our state. All right, we're gonna head on out. That is pretty cool property. All right, we got a ways to get back to the trail. All right, the only thing about this hostel, it's not too far off the trail, but the hike back is all uphill. But that's all right. They say no traffic on this road because I got a pretty early start. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Or 7 o'clock, I don't know. Something like that. All right, we're arriving back at the trail. I got to drop the pack and get my poles out. Here. All right, I got my poles out. I'm back on the AT. It's about 10 after 8, which is not too bad coming out of a hostel, getting back on the AT. It's got me a little concerned. Tomorrow night, I want to get some miles. They're going to give a ride back, so I don't know when they get the ride back. I'll find out when I get there. The good news is, the next hostel I'm going to, let me turn the camera. This hostel I'm going to is going to be, I can just hike right up into it. I don't have to worry about making camp. It's going to be in the 30s tonight. This front has moved through and it's nice and cold and chilly right now. It's probably in the 40s, maybe right now, upper 40s. And I've got a silk sewn shirt on. It's a real thin mid-layer and my regular hiking shirt. And I'm a little chilled, but I got a climb ahead of me and I'm looking forward to the climb. That'll warm me up. So here we go. Now, there's the road down there, but that ridge up there all the way across is what I come in on. All the way across. Up there. We're going that way. It's going to switch back again here in a minute. All right, there's the road down there. I'm fixing to duck into the tree line here and continue climbing. I ran the numbers this morning on the next 15 miles to Walker Gap where I'm heading. It's gonna be about a 16-mile hike. The elevation gain, total elevation, it's kind of going up and down. It's gonna be over 4,000 foot today, and that's gonna be substantial. But I'm ready for it. Oh, look at that view! Isn't that pretty? But put that in perspective. A 500-foot climb up here in elevation in the course of, a mile, 10% grade or so, will kick your butt if you're not in good shape. I got about 8 or 9 of those to do today. And should be tired. I feel getting that hostel. I'll get something hot to eat. On top of that, I've got 1.5 liters of water I'm toting up here. I bought more food for the food bag. So my food bag is heavier. And I'm not eating it, I'm hitting these hostels. And my food bag will even be heavier when I leave tomorrow. But the plan is, with that food bag, there's gonna be a good stretch of good weather. And I'm gonna head to Pearisburg. And Pearisburg, it's about 70 miles. I'm gonna try to do it with that food bag and my power. Make sure I'm all powered up tonight. In 4 days, 4, maybe 5 days. Probably going to be 5 days, but the 5th day will be like a wake-up short day. Check out this cattle fence. All right, this is the cattle gate. And this is the best type of cattle gate. They don't have to worry about the gate being left open. All right, let me button it up here. Well, the fun ones are the ones you got to climb over. Here we go. Show you what one of these climb gates, climb fences. There's several of them here in Virginia. All right, going between private property corridors where there's cows and stuff, and some for hogs. They try to fence it to keep hogs out in certain areas. All right, well, I was going along here. I looked at the profile, and the profile's not too bad today, really. At the end of the day, there's this monster climb, about 2,000 feet. So, be looking forward to that. And then going to the hostel Temperature will drop. I'll take me a hot shower, get some sleep, get up in the morning on a cold, crispy morning, take off again. Really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a beautiful day today. We're gonna make some trek time here. All right, we gotta claim. You know, you look at these places and you say, oh man, wouldn't it be great to live up here, this beautiful little mountain farm? And then you realize 6 months out of the year, it's so friggin' cold, you can't even step outside. I think people that live up here the people that live up here, they have antifreeze in their veins or something, I don't know. I mean, this is like the time of year right now where it's just starting to get warm. Where do we go? Oh, we don't go up there that far. We go this way again. Yeah, there it is. This bridge ain't gonna wash out. It just washes over it. All right. For the next 10 miles, Appalachian Trail travels a narrow corridor that includes a scenic thread, right-of-way, and easements through private property. Okay. And these easements areas requires written permission of landowner to camp for the next 10 miles. Okay. Well, let's move on through here. Let's go. Gotta get used to climbing these things for the next 10 miles. Ain't that a cool little stream? It's all on solid rock. I mean, solid rock coming through here. And it crosses the trail. Alright. Gonna get around this mud over here. Just like that. Pop out into the sun. And looks like we're gonna climb. We're gonna take a turn, we're gonna climb. Yeah. I hiked through here, I guess 7 years ago. 7 or 8. It was the year CT died. And there's cows out here, and I remember this. But I went through southbound, so I'm trying to think how it was backwards. But it just hit me. I remember this area here. I hope they're steers. These are bulls. They're not moving either. Yeah. Okay. Go away, bull. That one ran off from me. The ground out here is not like a clay. It looks clay, but it's like a muddy, dirty clay. Not real gummy, but it just sticks on your stuff. Hey, see you later, buddy. He says, I ain't your buddy. Cow knows I eat cow. They can feel it, man. They get the vibes. He says, man, that guy, that's he eats cow. I can tell. All right, look at it. Yeah, I remember it goes to the right and climbs. All right, yeah, we're on the right path. All right. I'm actually glad they got those markers out here because the cow paths look similar to the Appalachian Trail. You could take a cow path and just go on somewhere, I didn't run over I didn't climb a fence, so I could possibly run into cows on this trail. I don't see any cow poop though. That's why, because the cows know there's a gate here. But look at these cow trails down here, all up and down, and then there's a path down there. So they've been up here grazing. They just think, yeah, they have. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. There's right there. There's a cow trail right there going down. Going right down there, it looks like. All right, let's go. Oh man, that thing looks like it's about to fall. It's dark down here. The sun's shining. There's been a cow here. I thought I was out of off that private property section for a little while. All right, it's about 10 o'clock. I'm about the highest part around right here. My first major climb. But we're not done. We're gonna go down for a little ways and we're gonna go back up. For the end of the day, I've got to climb to about 4,400 feet. I'm at 31 right now. Yeah, so I still got some serious climbing to do. But up and downs, and then a big climb at the end of the day. I go down here, then I do another climb. Like a little bit higher than this, and then I go down, and then it's a real big climb. All right, nice cool breeze, buddy. Ooh, it feels good up here. Gotta get moving. Yeah. Yeah. Helene was a giant. They'd come around here. Boy, when Helene had some big old hands just to grab them things and snap them off. All right. All right. They topped out again and going down again. Now the next climb is a monster climb. The climb of the day. The next one. I don't know what time it is. It's probably 12:30. We're going down for a while. Cold. I ain't looking forward to this. Here we go. I don't know what they did with the boat. Somebody stole the boat. Ooh. Woo! God, that's cold. I'll put this thing. Actually, I was just kidding. There ain't no boat. But there was a woman from the Netherlands, I think, over here. And I pulled out. She was over here putting her shoes on, and I told her. She sounded Dutch anyway, her accent. I said, "Where's the boat at?" She started laughing. But there's the bridge right there in the middle, and I hiked through here southbound. There might have been a bridge here. See that embankment right there? That looks like where the bridge was. And over there, the embankment over there. So maybe Hurricane Helene had something to do with this. You know, taking that out. But yeah, it's just a ford. There's they got a watermark, and we're saying after a rain what level, and to come across on. You got to be careful if it gets over 2 feet, or if it gets over knee deep, it don't advise it. It's dangerous, and they advise you to camp on one side or the other and wait for it to go down. But that's after a big rain. It'll go. All right, let's get going. All right, I need to leave nothing laying around here. I got everything on it. I'm running with I took my bottoms and packed them away. Let's get going. I could have, went across, got my feet. If it was raining and my feet were soaked already, I'd have just walked across there. But I mean, it's cold today, and it's like, man, if you can keep from getting your feet slogged, it takes 2 days for them to dry out. I mean, you got to take but even though I'm going to a hostel, and there's plenty of times I've got my feet wet when it was cold. The heck is this? Is that the trail there, or is this the trail? Let me get the GPS, see where the heck I'm at. I don't know. Hold on. I don't know if that's the trail or if this is the trail going off that way. Let me get it. Let me get the GPS going. All right, it says that direction. Let's try this. I didn't even see this over here. This goes around it, I guess. Yeah, this works. All right. They must have just got their saws stuck when they're trying to get that cut. Yeah, they probably got their saws binded up. All right, let's get out of here. This has got to be it. Let's see if we see a white blaze. Yeah, there it is. All right, we're good. All right. I sure am glad I didn't get my feet wet back there. This temperature's dropping. It's every bit of 45 degrees out here. And I took them convertible bottoms off my legs, but that's all right. I can stand it. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna get up here another mile. It'll be the last chance to get the water. And I'm gonna put that jacket on because I'm gonna climb to 4,000 feet. All right, anyway. I'm glad I didn't get my feet wet, I'll tell you that. All right, trail magic. I'm gonna get me an apple. Wow. What a climb. Now we still got a ways to go. Way up there. All right. I just checked the profile. I don't have but 5 miles to get to that gap where the hostel is. So I've already did 11 miles today so far. And I've been climbing right here. I got 3.6 miles ahead of me, and it is straight up. And I got to climb 1,600 feet in 3.5 miles. And I got a liter of water. I don't want to get any more water to carry. That's the last water's right up here. Once I get to that top, I'm going to put on that jacket and I'm going to cruise on down and be all downhill to the hostel. So let's get this knocked out, and then I'll take a break, take a snack up there at the top. 3.5 miles, 5K, that's all. 5K, up, let's go. All right, that's the last water source. Ain't nothing else this high. And I got a liter of water. That's gonna have to make it to the top. It's time for emergency food, pure fat. Let's get some weight out of the food bag. And no butter. And some Vienna sausage. And what else? Some candy bars. Yeah, still climbing. I ain't to the top yet. It's gonna be good looking at this on the profile. I got that flyover app running. Let's see what it looks like tonight. It's just, right now it's just a steady grind. It's not real steep. It keeps going up. Looks like Tick City. Well, I'm still climbing. It's about 4:12, and it's cold up here. It's every bit in the upper 30s. I mean, it's cold. I gotta keep moving. It's 4:12. I'm 2 miles to the top of this climb. I just looked at the profile. I've got 600 feet to climb in 2 miles. Which, that's not bad. It's not that. So I guarantee I'm gonna come to a section where it's gonna get pretty steep, but it won't be for long. Because I'm probably going up 10% right now. But I'll keep talking. They had that's about right, 600 feet. All right, I get to the top here. It looks like I'm going to be getting up there. It's probably by anywhere from a quarter after. No, it's probably going to be 5:30, 4:15, 5:30, and that gets me. That's about right. About 6:30. It's going to be 6:30, 6:45 before I get to that hostel. Because when I get the 2 miles down that hill, I still got to go another 6/10 or 3/4 of a mile to the hostel. But that's downhill on that road. But the thing is, if I wouldn't have lined that hostel up, because that hostel was, I knew it was 15.5 miles away. That gap was. If I didn't get that lined up, and I'd have hiked out of there, I'd be somewhere around here. I'd have my water, and I wouldn't have went down there to that gap to camp. There ain't a place to camp down there off that road. And I would have to either go all the way down and come back up. It would have been too late in the day. So I would have been camping all the way back at that last water source. I would have got water there, and then I'd probably finished that climb. I wouldn't have did the big climb here. I'd have probably finished that climb. I wouldn't have completed the big climb. And then camped, especially being cold. So I wouldn't even got to Walker Gap. So this works out better going to the hostel. All right, I do see Sky up there. So he. Yeah, I see the post going up way up there. Yeah, that's probably half a mile away. Post sticking up. That's a post. White blaze. Now that's what I seen from way down there coming out of them woods. I could see the profile where it was cut, and I see the post. I couldn't see the white blaze. But look here. Look how high we are now. We way up here. All the way around. Now look up here. We got another post on top of that hill way up there. Another one. And then on top of the hill, you gotta look way up there. There's another one keeps going higher and higher. And we got 200 more feet to go. 1 mile. 200 more feet in elevation to be at the top of this climb. So it's rounding out. Not as steep. So I'm gonna go and knock this out. We have 3 miles to Walker Gap, which makes it 3.5 miles to that hostel. And looking good. I'm gonna get to the top of the climb before 4:30. Since the angle of this climb has changed. It's changed to a ridge walk now, even though it's still going up in elevation. So I should get to that hostel by 6:30 instead of 7 on my calculations now. I don't know how steep it is going down the other side there. I don't think According to the profile, it ain't bad. Should be able to make a good time. All right, one more look at that Blue Ridge. It's pretty hazy, but you can see the Blue Ridge. Yeah. If I duck into the woods here, yeah, the sun ain't shining down on it. That's all right. Hey, little mountain rabbit. Hey, little buddy, you know you're in the middle of the trail. I gotta go by you. I gotta go to a hospital and take a hot shower. It's okay, isn't it? Huh? What are you doing staring at me? I'm not gonna feed you. You gonna bite me? You better get out of here. Hey, I'll film this thing. That thing is a domesticated mountain rabbit. I don't want people up here been feeding him. Get out of here. I'm afraid the thing's gonna bite me. Go. What are you going down the trail for? I'm not gonna feed you. I'm not gonna feed you. I bet you people have been feeding him. Had to. I guess it wouldn't hurt nothing. Feed a rabbit. What are they feeding him though? I don't know. You know, I got to thinking that rabbit's lucky. I wasn't really hungry. I know how to skin a rabbit and I know how to build a fire. I can do that, and I got a knife. I got a good sharp knife that can do it too. I can do it in just a minute. I mean, probably take some of that ramen seasoning pack, season that hind quarter with it, put it over that fire for about about 30 minutes. Put it on a stick, and I bet you'd be good. All right, we're climbing down and we're coming down pretty fast. So I know it's less than probably about a mile and a half. Well, maybe a little more than a mile and a half. Yeah, it's going straight down this thing. Yeah. All right, it's supposed to be it's down the road, downhill, and then it's the first farmhouse on the right. I wonder if that's the hostel right there. I'd have to look, see which way. Maybe there's a sign down there. Looking for a soft bed, Wi-Fi, and a fresh hot waffle breakfast? Coming to Burke's Garden Hostel. 0.7 miles. First house on the right. Free shuttle back in the morning. I'm sold on it. I just looked at the GPS and it looks like I can go this way. Let's go. I remember that silo. They said it was the first farmhouse on the right. So let me get out of here and I'll see where I can see it. I was watching it from that mountain. I said, there's another silo down there. All right, let's turn around up here. Oh yeah. Up there, way up there at the top of that mountain. Somewhere coming down that ridge line, I spied this out here. Up there at the top of that mountain where that shelter is. Yeah, that's right. I'll be up here on the right. But look at this. Look at this valley. Surrounded by these mountain ridges and hills. I don't know, could you imagine? That's a barn over there. Up there's top of that. I tell you, I wouldn't want to grow a crop on a hill like that. And you feel it. Look at these hills. I mean, if you hit a little divot or something, the tractor would roll over. Yeah, this is the exact space I saw from up there on that mountain. All right, let's go look. They got cows and do hay. There's a mower right there. There's a cutter. I don't see the baler, but there's the cutter. There's round bales. There's a hay rake on the other side. I see the hay rake attachment. So yeah, they're cutting hay out there. They're baling hay, baling round bales. So this is it. I wonder if the hostel's in that shed. You know, where they got a bunkhouse in that shed. I don't know. Guess we're fixing to find out. Here to finish up my resupply. There's Burke. It's already taken care of. Got a pizza in the oven. One other hiker here, one other hiker on the way. Got hot showers. It's going to be down in the 30s tonight. And it is cold out there.